Namaste everyone, how's it going? Today I'm going to talk about something which is going to build on that topic of evolution that we spoke about earlier, where I defined survival and reproduction. If you haven't seen that video, see that video before you see this one, because this one would be more easily understandable if you have already watched that one. What I'm going to talk about today is value. In that last video, I had asked you what are the linkages between people's actions of wanting to improve their life, wanting to become smarter or richer or look better or wear better clothes or buy a better car. I'd asked you to think as to why they are driven towards those kind of motives with the whole aspect of evolution in your mind. I had asked you to think about that. So today I'm going to tell you about why they are driven towards those kind of things. And the reason behind that is the concept of value. Value is anything that increases your chance at survival and reproduction, which are evolution's two core processes. The reason why all of these people chase behind a better car or a better life, or a better house is because it increases their chances of survival and reproduction because they have more value. And again, now the stuff which I'm going to talk about, it might not agree with your feelings, all right? Or it might not agree with your idea of a perfect world. But the thing is, we are not here to worry about what goes in accordance with our feelings. We are here to understand how the world works and why it works the way it works and how we can use it to our own advantage and leverage it for progress, for our own personal progress. For example, if you were somebody and you have to marry somebody, you know that keeping all things equal, if you have two identical people, but the only difference between the two was that one was richer and one was not rich, you would prefer marrying the rich person. It is an ugly truth of life, but it is true. And the reason it is so is because that person holds more value. And the reason why that person holds more value is because they have more assets, more resources, more money, which increases your chances of survival and reproduction. And if you want me to break this down into a life example, for example, tomorrow if you get struck with a life-threatening disease, if your partner has more money, all right, or if your partner is rich, like you would have access to better healthcare facilities, you will have access to better doctors, better hospitals, your chances of survival would increase. This is a very basic example, but this is how our minds think subconsciously, that if both of them look equally good, have the same physical features, blah, 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 character, personality, etc., you would want to go with the person who has more money. What has value? Whatever is scarce in the universe, in our environment, in society, amongst people, whatever is scarce is more valuable. The more abundant a thing is, the less value it has. Another simple way of defining this is in terms of economics, where we talk about demand and supply. The demand for something increases if the supply is very less, and the demand for something drops a lot if it is in high supply. So whatever is scarce has high value. Why do people want to date better looking people? Because better looking people are of lesser supply than average looking people. Or God forbid if I say ugly people, all right, kill me. A big nice house, a big luxury, sexy, expensive car, all these things are not that easily available in life, and that is why people want it, because they contain higher amounts of value, which will in turn lead to an increase of their chances when it comes to survival and reproduction. You know that if you have a luxury car, more girls are going to get attracted to you if you're a man than if you did not have a luxury car. On the same side, if you are a very good looking girl, there are more guys who are attracted to you than if you're not a good looking girl. So that is the primary aspect of value. That value is anything that increases your chance of survival and reproduction. The second thing about value is, now let's say, think about your friends. Think about the people who you met in your life and you became friends with, all right? The second thing about value is that anything that makes you experience good emotions contains value. So you like being around funny people because they can make you laugh. You like being around people who can make you feel good about yourself because they make you feel good about yourself. All right. You like being around people, around things, etc., 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 because they make you feel good. All right. You like to go to a high-end, expensive restaurant because it makes you feel better than a shitty hole in the wall. They both are giving you food. Your basic survival need is being met. But maybe your experience is better in the more expensive restaurant. Maybe your chances of reproduction improve because you're going to meet better prospective mates in a high-end restaurant than a hole in the wall. So whatever increases your chances of survival and reproduction, and secondly increases your good emotions, contains value. And the more it increases either of these things, the more value it has. If I step out of a Ferrari versus if I step out of a Volkswagen Golf, or if you're in India, if I step out of a Maruti 800, like what is going to make me more valuable? What is going to spike the interest and curiosity of people that, oh my God, that guy just stepped out of a Maruti 800. Nobody says that. Oh my God, that guy stepped out of a Volkswagen Golf. Nobody says that. That guy stepped out of a Ferrari. That is what people notice, because a Ferrari is high in value. So in your life, whatever's there connected to your life, people, possessions, experiences, things, etc., blah, blah, blah. Your phone, which you are using to probably watch this video, or the computer you are on, whatever is attached to you in some way or another, you're always trying to get a better version of it, because it increases the value that ultimately your life has. Because all of these things, your friends, your possessions, your experiences, your wisdom, blah, 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 like all of these things, their value adds up into you and makes you as a human being. So when you're thinking about life, and when you get attracted to certain people and you don't get attracted to certain people, or you like becoming friends with certain people but you don't like becoming friends with certain people, or you like going to certain places or restaurants or certain kinds of cars and you do not prefer certain kinds, the reason is because you know that, being in a Ferrari is going to increase your value, because the Ferrari's value is going to be the same, but being in that Ferrari, you are going to have more value than if you were in a standard run-of-the-mill kind of car. So try to again now think how value and that aspect of evolution, the survival and reproduction aspect, how all of this ties up in life around you. How people behave the way they behave, because always they're trying to improve their prospects. Always they're trying to improve their chances of survival and reproduction. Always they're trying to become more valuable people, trying to accumulate more valuable possessions, trying to accumulate more valuable reproductive partners, trying to accumulate more valuable experiences. Everybody likes to travel now all of a sudden. Everybody likes to wear better clothes. Everybody likes to eat better food. Why? Start thinking about all of that. Now the thing about value is it is universally applicable. Value can take any currency, any form of currency. And it can be anything, like a hot girl is a measure of value. A rich person is a measure of value. Anything that is nicely packaged is a measure of value. Apple's iPhones have more value than any other smartphone simply because they're Apple. They have created that value around themselves. They package their shit better. Their stuff looks nicer. It looks more sophisticated. It looks more shiny and metallic. Even if it is not actually that good and that any other phone might be better, but that iPhone always has that attractiveness about it. It always has that value to it. That even if it is as a phone, even if it might be this good, that they can charge this much or even more than other phones which can actually do more than the iPhone. So another thing about value is that it is present in everything around us. People, possessions, experiences, places. Like if you live in New York, you're kind of more valuable than if you live in some fucking African city. The kind of people that we hang out with, the kind of vehicles that we drive, the kind of life that we live, the kind of places we buy our groceries from, everything has a certain amount of value to it. So a high-end street shop which sells groceries is more valuable than your regular Tesco or than your regular Reliance supermarket, So value is present in everything around us. And we acquire value, or we try to acquire value on a daily basis based on purely selfish motives. Like whatever improves our chance of survival and reproduction, we try to get that kind of a prospect or person or object in our life. Another example that I'm going to give you is that people nowadays even do things in order to increase their value. Like for example, you would have heard of Hollywood or Bollywood celebrities who are actually single in life, acting as if they're a pair or if they date, simply because they want to bring the amount of value which both of them have individually, combine it and thus suck more value out of each other and increase the amount of total value which they have individually, all right? Because more people will start talking about them, more press conferences will be done for them, more attention will be given to them by the media, and etc., etc., etc. So So throughout life, we are also trying to, even if we can't acquire value permanently, a lot of people try to acquire value on a temporary basis. Another way human beings think is that, for example, expensive equals good quality, or good quality means expensive. This can be again applied to from products and services that you buy in society to even the people that you date with. Because if somebody is expensive, that's determined as a good quality prospect of a mate. If somebody is hard to get, they're probably hard to get because they're high in demand and they're low in supply. So if they're high in demand, more and more people are trying to mate with them. All right, that is why they become expensive, and that is why you want them even more than somebody who's not expensive. And the reason behind that is because, again, that person becomes more desirable because they have more value. So in the future, I'm also going to talk about, certain things which are related to evolution and value. I'm going to talk about perception. I'm going to talk about opportunity cost, which is very important. So I'm also going to talk about how relationships are based on value. I'm going to talk about love, and that is going to piss a lot of people off. But I don't care because I like pissing people off, Fuck off. Bye-bye. So the clothes you buy, the love that you have, the people that you love, the people that you fuck, everything is about value.